Rockstars, I'm Allie, your RockStarBarGirl, and today I am coming to you with a video about your first day on the job, your first trailing day, your first training day. This is a video about what happens after you've gotten past your interview and they ask you to come in and check the place out. This can be anything from just stopping by for a couple of hours to see what the place is like, whether you like it, get a feel for it, or it can be a full-on training shift that lasts 8 or 9 hours. You open, you close. So handling that first day well is really, really important. So I'm going to give you 5 easy tips for how to make that first day perfect and guarantee that you get that rock star bar job. So tip number 1 is bring the right attitude. This is super, super important. Whether you are new to bartending or you've been doing it for 5, 10, 15 years, at the end of the day, you are a newbie when it comes to that particular location. So whether the person who is training you is younger than you or they have less experience than you do, understand that they are still the expert and you are the student for at least the duration of your training. So you want to have a good attitude about that. Too many times bartenders that I train come in and they kind of have an attitude like, oh, I know what I'm doing, and it's kind of rude. It's really just disrespectful, and it's not true because you don't know what you're doing. It's your first day. So always have a really good attitude about that. Be polite and respectful. A lot of times when a bartender is training, they are not being paid anything extra to train you. It's kind of just an understood part of your responsibilities as a bartender, if you're good, that your manager is going to ask you to train incoming staff. So understand that you're basically butting in on someone's shift and they have to stop what they're doing, stop spending as much time with their guests as they would like to train you and educate you. So be polite and respectful of that. Try not to get in that person's way and try to think of yourself really as just someone there to help them. If you focus on helping the bartender that's training you, help wash dishware, help clear and bust tables, help restock things. If you help them with that stuff, you're going to also learn things that you need to know, like where things go and who takes care of restocking what. You're going to learn those things by helping out. So be polite and respectful. Understand that you are encroaching on someone's money, essentially. And on the flip side of that, when things are quiet or they're slow and there isn't really much helping to do, or let's say it's super, super busy and you can't help the bartender that's training you without getting in their way, something that you can do is to be inquisitive and learn independently. So take the opportunity to look at the menu and look around the bar and try to memorize where things are located. If you have access to a POS system that the other bartender is not using, then you can go through that. Oftentimes POS systems will have training numbers that you can use, and you can put whatever you want in to the POS and nothing is going to print out, nothing is going to be ordered, so it's all good. But either way, you can go to the POS and start educating yourself on like prices and how to ring things in so that you can get up to speed as quickly as possible. Tip number 2 is bring your own tools. Definitely take a look at the bar setup and tools video. You can click on the link over here, and that video will go over some of the tools that you should expect to see at the bar and some of the tools that you should expect to bring on your own. But definitely always have your own tools. You should not expect a bar to provide you with beer openers or wine keys, or in some cases even basic things like pens and stuff like that. A bar might not have around, depending. So bring those things for yourself. The most important things to bring with you are a beer opener, a speed beer opener, a wine key, and some pens. Tip number 3, bring your documentation. Your training shift could, first of all, it could be paid. And if it is paid, then you are going to need to fill out the proper documentation so you can get paid, like a W-4 and an I-9, which says that you can work in this country. If training is not paid, sometimes a training shift, this has happened to me a bunch of times, a training shift will actually turn into an actual working shift. They might like you right from the beginning and say, hey, we need someone to start immediately. Can you work tonight? Or something might just happen. In any event, you might end up working that night, and to get paid, you'll need to fill out that information. So you will need to bring with you your ID and your social security card. If you don't have that, you can bring your passport. And I'm not 100% sure exactly like which visas and things like that you need to have if you have like foreign documentation. Maybe somebody watching this can put that down in the comments for other people. But definitely if you're an American citizen, then you need your ID and social, or a passport will do. And be prepared to fill out a W-4 and an I-9 so that you can get paid. 4, bring your time. When you are going in for a trail or a training shift, like I said, they could turn into working shifts really quickly, or you could be offered the job on the spot if you do well, in which case you want to be available for that opportunity. So I know it sucks to put job searching off if you really need it or things like that, but if you're going to be going on vacation, you know, in the next week, and you're going to be gone for 8 days or things of that nature, you're working somewhere and you can't get out of it for the next month or something like that, maybe reconsider so aggressively going out on open calls and things like that, or maybe consider putting that information in your cover letter before you even get to the training process, because when a bar is training or trailing you, it's because they need staff and they need it now. Bars very rarely preemptively hire unless they have some type of like seasonal thing. They have a patio that opens in the summer. Otherwise, if they're holding open calls and they're hiring, it's because they need help right now. So they really need you to be available, and it can be super frustrating for the manager who's interviewing you and going through the whole process to find out after you train, like, oh, actually I'm not going to be able to start until such and such, or I can only work one day and then I'm going out of town. So be available in the long term, and also just be available that day, because like I said, what you think is going to be a 3-hour training session could turn into a 10-hour shift. So don't make plans to go out with the girls or whatever, or do something that you really, really wouldn't want to reschedule. Be available that day so you can do whatever's necessary to score that job. The person interviewing after you might have the whole afternoon free, and that might be the deal breaker for the manager. So be available. Tip number 5 is to bring it. This is your chance to show the bartender who is training you, the managers, the owner, if that person is around, the regulars, everyone, that you can fit into their system, that you're genuinely interested in the position, and that you've got what it takes to do it. So definitely come with everything that you've got. Be prepared to answer any questions, because they're going to want to test you. Have your classic cocktails and your basic information in your pocket, tucked away in your head, ready to go, and really show your stuff. Okay, let's see. You want to wow with your customer service. You want to impress management with your professionalism. And you want to impress the servers and the bartenders that you're going to be working with, that you want to show them that you have an eagerness to work. You're not lazy. You're going to contribute and do your part. In the hospitality industry, it's very much like a teamwork type of thing. So no one wants a staff member who's going to be lazy. So show those things and you should be good. So those are your 5 first day on the job tips. If you follow those things, your first day at work, your first trail, your first training session should definitely go really smoothly, and you should get that rock star job. So hopefully this video was really helpful. If you liked it, go ahead and like below, share, definitely subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section. And until next time, bye rock stars.